I'm gonna start recording now. I will also pull up the backtest sheet. Hey, Cozy. Okay, sure. So last session, Jerry, actually all we did, or last Saturday, what we did was we backtested all of last week's price action. So last week's price action, Monday through Friday, we went through it with the model, with the rules as is, and it was not great by any means. We had 6 losses, 2 wins, and 2 break-even trades. Excuse me. And it was terrible. Yeah, it was terrible. It was brutal on my end because, you know, it's hard to withstand losses even when it's through backtesting. So it sucked, and it was just boring. And also, for whatever reason, I guess because maybe I didn't click on Discord. I have Discord on my left screen and I have you guys on my right screen, and so I can see when questions pop up. And for some reason, Discord did not update the chat for me until the end of the session, so I missed like 20 questions, unfortunately. With that being said, today, guys, we are going to just have a simple discussion. Yes, thank you so much. I am recording audio today as well. Let me double check just because you said it. Yep, I'm good to go. Thank you. Okay, so today's discussion is going to be on why we don't add more confluences to the test. And then we are going to make a decision, I guess just the 3 of us, for how we're going to add the next confluence to this model as is, right? So again, currently the model stands at a 40% win rate, a full win, meaning we are getting one full reward for one full risk that we're putting on, and we're getting 20% of them. We're able to take partials and remove risk completely, so we are taking some money off the table. Okay, now I want to backtrack here, and I want to explain why I do these backtest sessions with you guys. All right, so number one, people hate backtesting. They don't know how to backtest, they don't know where to start, they don't know what their model is, they don't know how to put a model together. So that is the forefront of why I backtest here, so that I can backtest the concepts and the models that we are all backtesting swag together, you know, as a group. Like, you guys watch JD trade Q3 inversions all the time. He literally trades it every 90 minutes. He's implemented root candles. We all, you know, as a collective, basically trade midnight as a level. We trade towards previous day highs and lows. You know, a lot of us do trade ICT, right? But you don't need to know ICT to be able to trade the way we do. And you don't even need to know anything about anything, because we're trying to make these models as simple as possible. So the whole point of these exercises, when I backtest with you guys as a group, with every single backtest that we've done so far, we have a discussion at the beginning, and I say, okay, what do you guys want to backtest? What do you want the rules to be? What time, what risk, what is the purpose of this test, right? So in our original Q3 inversion test last year, we specifically tested the Q3 inversion to pass evals specifically. So we were targeting 15.5 points with a stop loss of 12.5 points, because at 12.5 points full port, you lose the eval. At 15.5 points full port, you pass the eval. Okay, so again, you know, neither here nor there. The purpose of these backtests is to show you guys how to do it, how to put a model together for yourselves, how to backtest your own model for yourselves. So I've been getting a lot of questions as to why I don't backtest exactly the way JD trades. Why don't we use premium and discount? Why don't we use bias? Why don't we actually backtest the way DTT is supposed to be used? Why don't we add more confluences to make it better, right? And my short answer is because it already works as is, right? Like, literally all the rules that you see on your screen here that we discussed as a group, we said, hey, What do you guys want to do? How should we do this? Okay, so we all decided Q3 inversion, late Q2 to early Q4. How do we quantify that? We decided on 11 minutes, the last 11 minutes to the first 11 minutes. Where are we going to put the stop loss, right? Are we going to put it on this candle, that candle? And we all said swing higher, swing low. When do you guys want to trail the stop loss, right? So we're literally, for lack of better terms, we're pulling this out of thin air. We're literally pulling it out of our asses and saying, okay, this is the rule. And we just put pen to paper and we backtest the model with just the ideas that we pulled out of thin air. And so far we have a 60% win rate. When you have a 60% win rate with a model that is achieving more than 1R, that is profitable, right? It does not actually need to be more complicated than that. And that in its entirety is why I'm showing, or why I do this as an exercise with the group, is to show you, like, you don't need these big, massive, fancy numbers to make money. If we're talking about next day payouts, if we're talking about payouts, if we're talking about quote unquote consistency, JD is one of the most consistent live streamers I've ever seen in my life. Like, day in, day out, he can just rack those points up very easily. And it's all a matter of, you know, keeping the model fairly simple, right? So why overcomplicate the model when it's already winning at 60%? So, and then, like, when you go into backtesting it, like, sure, it can always be better. And really, I'll answer the question for you guys. The reason you want a higher win rate, the reason you want more confluence, is because you don't journal. Is because you don't track your trades. It's because you don't follow your rules, right? So you want to stack the rules for you to be able to make a decision, but really it could just be as simple as this time to this time, an inversion. Stop loss here, TP there, right? That's all it has to be. I've vouched this over and over again. All a model needs is a time component, a price component, and risk management. You need those three things for a beautiful model, and that's it. And as long as you stick to those rules, you stick to your risk management implied in those rules, then you can really get a next day payout. You can really backtest the model yourself. And if you add too many confluences at the very, very beginning, right? We started this off with very, very simplistic rules, again, seen on your screen here. And we were able to crank through 60 reps as a group in less than 2 weeks, right? And if you add more confluences, it makes each rep harder to get through. So let's say, I don't know, we have 11 rules, we have 5 confluences and 6 conditions, and if we had to meet the criteria of every single confluence every single time, this would be a brutal backtest and it would not be enjoyable, which leads us to our original problem. People do not backtest. Okay? So again, I think if you guys have never backtested with me before, I think that people love to blame psychology. They love to blame psychology because they actually have not backtested their model. They have not spent time with their model. They didn't make the model according to their personality. They didn't make the model realistic for them to execute live. They did not make the model realistic to execute with prop firm accounts. And so when all that goes to shit as a result of not having a system, when they go to live markets, they say, oh, my psychology is fucked up. Well, no, it's because you didn't put in the work to put together a model, bring it through backtesting, and then, look at that data, quantify that, and, decide which way to approach it from there. So, needless to say, what I do here is we start with all these models, however JD trades, whatever you guys want in the model, whatever the focus of the model is. With this model, the focus is next day payouts. So what I do is I start every model in its most basic form. Those 3 elements: a price element, a time element, risk management. We do these 3 things and then we build on that. Okay? And again, this model, with just these very simple rules, we are achieving a 60% win rate. Okay? So today what I want to discuss as adding another rule and adding another confluence, I think the most logical next step for us would be a filtering process to avoid losses. In the last 3 or 4 days of the backtest, we had a mean losing streak. This is also the week of election week, so it could just be an outlier. But being that we are past our 60 reps, it is time, or it is suitable now, reasonable now, to add a confluence. And I think the most logical one would be premium and discount. So I'm going to present 3 ways in which we can apply premium and discount, maybe a fourth if you guys feel like tuning or feel like chiming in. The number one easiest way to do it is very basic. I don't want to say basic, it's not the word I'm looking for. It is native to quarterly cycles. Okay, so it originates from quarterly cycles, and that would simply be to use TMSO as premium and discount, so as equilibrium. So if we're above it and the inverse occurs, we're in premium. If we're below it and the inverse occurs, we're in discount. We can take it. Okay, so number one option is going to be TMSO, premium and discount. Number two is going to be the actual 90-minute cycle in price. So the range from Q1 to Q4, wherever price is in that moment, right? So from here, this is the low so far. No, this is the low, Q2. We draw it all the way up to the highest point in Q3. And same thing, if we're in premium and the inverse occurs, we can take it. That's a short. And if the inverse occurs in discount, we can take it. That's a long. All right, so the next one is going to be the 90-minute cycle, high and low. Let me just add cycle in there so no one gets confused. So this would be price based. TMSO is technically time based because it's specifically the open of Q2. The next one is going to be the root candles. So we can use 953 or 1034 as our premium and discount. And again, if we're above 953, we can, and a bearish inverse occurs, we can take it. If we are below 953 and a bullish inverse occurs, we can take it. So these are the 3 I have in mind. Does anyone want to present a fourth option? Another thing we can do is like in relation to previous price action, right? So for example, the previous 90-minute cycle, or we can even do midnight. That's a really easy one, right? So if we're above midnight, we are looking for bearish inversions. If we are below midnight, then we're looking for bullish inversions. So that's actually the fourth one I will add here. And if you guys have any other suggestions for how we can implement premium and discount, feel free to chime in. But these are the 4 options so far. Previous days range. So I like it, but I think that I want to actually apply that to, yes and no. I do think it's too wide for the 90-minute just because of how JD trades specifically, like trying to gear everyone up for how JD actually trades live. But I think what I actually want to do is I want to implement that down the road for bias. So I want to save that for like, because I was actually thinking about that on my way home today. I was like, okay, we can do it. We can do previous day high or low, but I think that's going to come in handy for implementing bias. Yeah. So at this level, we're going to apply premium and discount. We're not applying bias yet and the reason I don't want to apply bias yet is because we will also later down the road, hopefully apply 5 and 15-minute PD arrays. So then at the same time that we're deciding how to decide on bias, we will also decide on 5 and 15-minute PD arrays. A later discussion. Okay, so for those of you that are here, that have showed up today, if you guys have not been following, this is the backtest we are working on. This backtest specifically is aimed to get us all next day payouts. We are implementing Q3 inversions with the root candles, and the risk management that we are applying is all listed up here. Basically, we're trailing to 1R, stop loss at the swing high or the swing low closest to the inversion. And then we're aiming for any root candle or any other time-based level. All right, so the root candles are adding a confluence to our entry, or it's acting as a target for our exits. The next step, or the next confluence that we're adding to the model, is premium and discount. We have 4 ways in which we can implement premium and discount. Number 1, TMSO. Above it, premium. Below it, discount. 90-minute cycle high or low. The lowest low in from Q1 to Q4, or the highest high from Q1 to Q4. We fib it up. Above equilibrium, we're in premium. Below equilibrium, we're in discount. Root candle, same thing. Above 953, 1034, we're in premium. Below 953, 1034, we're in premium. Now, of course, with this one specifically, with the third option, I think we are going to have complications when 953 is up here and 1034 is down here, and we just happen to be trading in here, right? So I think this is going to be a problematic situation, or it's just going to be a situation where we take no trades. And then, of course, we have midnight, which above it, again, we're in premium. Below it, we're in discount. So there's a lot of you here that have been with us through all the back tests since day one. But if you guys want to chime in and vote on this, that would be great. And if we can if I see a majority rule, then we will apply that as our next confluence, as our next rule to implement in this model. So if you guys please drop a 1, 2, 3, or 4, and then, again, we're deciding this as a group. We're gonna backtest it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, we change the rule. It's that simple. It doesn't need to be complicated. And again, like, the reason for the backtest, or to show you guys how we backtest, is because, like, I think people put too much focus on, like, oh, this model, oh, that model, oh, that, right? Like, and okay, great. TMSO, we have 1 vote for TMSO. Thank you so much, Cozy. And I think, like, the point is to just start backtesting. Put together any sort of rules. Again, a time-based, a price-based, some risk management, and then start backtesting it. And if it works, it works, and you don't need to change anything. Thank you, Jerry. We have 2 votes so far. Okay, thank you, Rick from Texas. Midnight. TMSO, 3. All right, there are currently 8 of you in here, so if you guys can just simply drop a number, that'd be excellent. Greatly appreciated. And we're not going to actually backtest any reps today. I just want to have this discussion as to why we don't add more confluences, or why we don't overcomplicate the model. And even if you're only showing up for today's session, feel free to chime in based on what you know or feel about price. I'll give you guys 2 more minutes to participate. Thank you, TLM. I'm assuming you meant TMSO. Thank you. Okay, great. So that, the majority is already ruling. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 9. Okay, wait, I need 1 more vote. Not necessarily, I guess, but if we can have, I don't know, 2 or 3 more members chime in and put a vote in, that'd be great. All right, so I'm going to TP. I'm gonna add it under the inverse. Okay. So premium using TMSO as EQ. All right, great. So that rule is added. We will start the next. We will start using it during the next backtest, or for the future reps as we add on to this. What I'll do, or what I'm thinking about doing, is I'm probably gonna lock this as is. No, I'm just gonna add on. So we know already that we did 60 reps. We're gonna add to this table. Obviously, the first 60 reps, will not have the TMSO rule, but we'll just see how price develops. I'll be able to, like, first say check the first 60 reps and remove them from the data, and then as I do that, we can narrow it down to like the future reps. For example, what I did in the previous backtest for all the Q3 tests we did is I made a new sheet for every single one. I'm not going to do that this time. I'm just going to keep adding on to the same exact sheet so that we can keep racking up the reps. All right, so with that being said, does anyone have anything else that they may want to discuss, or any other questions that they want to go over? Again, we're not going to do any backtesting today. I just wanted to get this Confluence out of the way. It's something that we've been discussing for about 2 or 3 sessions now of what we should add to the next thing. I think premium and discount was the most logical thing. So, does anyone want to ask any questions about this model specifically? If you guys haven't looked at the sheet before, it's pretty straightforward. This is not actually too complicated to walk through. But if you go to full pool, which are full TPs basically, I can change the name if it makes it less confusing. But the full pool, these are all of our wins. You can go through all of these charts and use this for pattern recognition. So, for lack of better terms, you can just click on it. This is what an A+ setup looks like with the model, and then move on to the next chart. And that way you can start to see how this model forms with just the rules we've applied. And then likewise, you can pull up the full stops. I wouldn't necessarily look at failures. I would look at the winning trades only, just so you can start to recognize them live. And then, likewise, you can feel free to just go through all the charts. For a summary of the model, if any of you guys missed it, losing trade is stopped out in less than 10 minutes. A winning trade generally lasts longer than 10 minutes. The model is yielding about 2R. We have an average stop loss of 22 points, an average TP of 44 points. 953 is a great entry confluence. It is a bad target. 1034 is the opposite. It is a bad entry confluence, and it's about a 50-50 target. All the root candles, all the 90-minute cycle targets being TMSO, True Day Open, New York Open, any 90-minute cycle level that comes with that indicator, those are also 50-50 levels. Everything else, ironically, like all of our higher time frame stuff, like daily open, weekly open, monthly open, previous day high, weekly high, monthly highs, and lows, all of those also seem to be bad targets. Pretty much that's it. With that being said, 312 from 953, 100% win rate. Are you considering fib in this premium discount setup? Can you rephrase that for me? Because premium discount by default is a fib. All right, 0 to 100 with 50 in the middle. So premium and discount they are one and the same thing to me. But if you can rephrase it so that I can understand it in the way that you might mean it, I'd be glad to rethink my answer. Yeah, midnight is king. Yeah. We did actually have, let me look at that. I think midnight was also a good target. Oh, midnight was 50-50 actually. Crazy. Yeah, we could. Well, again, Cozy, you know, mind you, we're not even talking about a 90-minute cycle that we're holding until the next 90-minute cycle, right? Generally, these trades are ending like within the same 90-minute cycle exactly. So, you know, just keep in mind, like, this is technically a scalping model. So this is not something where you're gonna get the daily range from. Again, this is really just to target next day payouts. Because imagine if you know you can get 2R and you want to get a payout the next day, like, you know, let's do the math, right? And I'm just gonna be real with you guys. When I was in my career as a sleep tech, I was making 480 a day. If I can make 480 in a trading day now, fucking right, I will, right? So let's say I want to make 480. I'm gonna risk 240 today, and I'm gonna make 480 to get the next day payout. I will gladly do that every single time. So then this is a trade that's maybe gonna last more than 10 minutes, but less than 90 minutes, right? So it's a quick scalp to get that next day payout. Yeah, exactly, Cozy. I mean, and that's why I like to backtest these models, because I myself am a bad scalper. So I love backtesting scalping models specifically because I see how efficient they are. But can I execute this live? Hell no. So and that's the pain of it, right? Like I love backtesting daily range models too, but that and I can actually execute those lives, but it's the scalping models. I focus on these for backtesting because I cannot for the life of me scalp. 100% agreed. Yeah, I 100% TLM. I'm with you. Like, for me, I can't even tell you, like, a 5-minute 2022 model is legit my bread and butter. A 5-minute inversion in there, even better, right? So I don't even stress myself out with doing anything more or less. But, you know, if I want to get more daily payouts more often, sometimes scalping is necessary, because sometimes the daily range isn't expanding. Sometimes the daily range is reversing, right? So there are things like that, you know, we learned the hard way. We hold too long. You know, and so sometimes we have to adapt, and being adaptable is what will get us, is what keeps us in the game. That is actual consistency, is adapting to the conditions that we're in right now. Okay, so all right, thank you, Rick. Glad I answered it. We could implement the quadrants, Cozy. That is actually a really good suggestion. I think we will see how the reps play out with just 0 to 150. We'll use just premium and like normal premium and discount, and then if we are not getting enough reps, because here we can see that we are getting at least 5 reps in a day, and this is just taking every single inverse that occurs, right? So if we happen to skip, if we're not getting at least 1 rep every day, then I think yes, we can implement deep discount and deep premium, because then that will play into it as, like, you know, with a scalping model, you should be able to find a trade every 90 minutes theoretically, every single 90-minute cycle. So if it doesn't offer us that opportunity, then we know we've made the rules too complicated. We've made the confluence too complicated. Okay. Any other questions? Anyone want to vent? I swear you can bend my ear. I'm not here to judge, but I will not pat your back as well. I'm probably not going to hold your hand and say there. I will give it to you straight, but you know, I'm here to listen. Yeah, I'm here to listen. Is it weird to put shaved carrots? Well, if you're feeding a toddler, I don't think it is. Right? Because they gotta get their vegetables in somehow. So, and I actually think it'll probably hide really well in spaghetti sauce. TLM, if you want to, I think the best way to do it would be to pull up this tab specifically, full pull, right? And then look at all the winning trades. Specifically, if you want to familiarize yourself with what these winning trades look like. And for example, I'll just pull up this one because I see it's 953 targeting 312. 312 was the target here. If you pull this one up, this one is so clean. This is literally one of the cleanest examples that we have, right? And this is what it should look like. With 953 is creating the swing high. The inversion is happening here. Notice we don't close the inversion under 953 until here. And then, you know, clean straight to profit. 1 minute straight to profit. So this way you can familiarize yourself with what winning trades look like. I would say if you want to familiarize yourself with how to analyze model and analyze data, you would actually want to watch our most previous session. Nope, 2 sessions ago. I have 3 videos to post, but you'll want to watch the video on refining the data. And basically, I go through all the data on the sheet and I make a summary of that data. And that's how I'm able to analyze a model and say, okay, let's move forward with this or that. So everything across every single tab when we were refining the data was all consistent with one another. So it was very easy to see like, okay, this is an outlier in the data or this is not. And again, like everything just seemed to be so consistent with one another. So it was very easy to say, okay, this model is solid. Like we can keep backtesting. They will be posted to my YouTube channel. I do have, let me just search it in the Discord really quick. If you search YouTube and my name, you should see, let me just pull it up. I'll just pull it up really quick and send it to you. Oh, there we go. So this channel is really only for our videos. These playlists specifically are from our backtest sessions as a server, and I have these videos unlisted. So you shouldn't be able to see them publicly, I don't think. These are literally just for you guys. This is something that you get as a perk of being a Kingline member. Okay, let me scroll up. I think I missed some things. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, cheers. Oh, Rick, he already left. Okay, great. Any other questions? Again, I'm here for you if you want to bend my ear. I do hold one-on-one sessions, which I think a couple of you saw. I do have one-on-one sessions with my followers as well. It's open to any one of you guys if you want to backtest your models as well. This basically consists of like someone telling me what their model is or what they need from me, what help they think they can get from me, or them picking my ear on like, picking my brain on on like what can they do to improve their model, things like that, or you know, what do I suggest. I had a really good one-on-one with someone on Sunday. I am not recording these one-on-one sessions out of respect for the person, you know, requesting them. It's their model, it's, you know, their trading, so for the sake of their privacy, I'm not recording those, but these group backtest sessions will always be backtested. If any of you guys ever want to link with me as far as the one-on-ones go, you can feel free to DM me, or you can just schedule through my Calendly link. Everything is always going to be in the link in my bio. It's pretty easy to get to. But if any of you guys need a session outside of my availability on that sheet, just send me a DM and I will send you like a specific link for you to schedule at that specific time. But yeah, I'm pretty much here to help you guys with, you know, refine your own models, get those next day payouts, and that way we can get, you know, smaller wins more consistently, and that in itself should build your psychology and your confidence. Thank you, Cozy. Have a good night. I hope the spaghetti turns out good. My pleasure, my pleasure. My best friend is actually a personal trainer, and she has one toddler right now. Her other toddler is older, so she grew up. But you know, I'm very familiar with sneaking vegetables into food. I actually don't. Yeah. Another story for another time. All right, guys. See you again. If you guys have any questions or if you guys need anything, feel free to reach out. I don't think I have any trades I can share with you guys today. I don't know. Let me double check if what I journaled for this morning. Nope. Oh wait, this is from Sunday night. I will not share this trade with you guys. Or I'm not gonna go over this trade with you guys just because it was fairly simple. Okay. Yeah, nothing special. You missed my 6-figure payout paper trade. Wait, hold on a second. Hold on. What happened, Cryptic? It was a paper trade? It wasn't on an eval or anything? An eval, a funded account, nothing? Oh, man. Hey, I hope you journaled the shit out of that trade. I hope you have screenshots of it for days, dude. You better have journaled that, Cryptic. I'm so serious. Okay, good. Good. That is really good. Good stuff, dude. Amazing. That is amazing. Yeah, no. Keep that. This is worthy. I hope you journal the shit out of this trade. That's amazing. What a trade. That is a hell of an entry. Good gracious. That's great. Okay, yeah, alright, we're gonna hop off here. Dude, save that. I legit have a picture of my model printed out on paper. So like the most like beautiful picture of my model, I have that physically printed out on paper, and I have that in front of my desk. So, you know, save it for real. Like, especially if it's something that you can duplicate. Yeah, if it's a model that like, this is basically my like low of day 5-minute 2022 model, right? So if I have like versions of it where I can see it from the 5, 15 and the 1 hour. Yeah, I have so many screenshots of my model, but the most beautiful, easy to see version of it. Yes, exactly, same. I don't know if you guys remember, but last year, the same thing. The very first time I ever caught the daily range was on a Thursday. I had that as my screenshot, as my screensaver on my desk. But yeah, all right, guys, I'm hopping off now. Again, feel free to reach out if you guys need anything. Cheers, happy trading. Make sure you preserve capital this week during NFP. And I want to see all of you guys on the payout train. Cozy, TLM, all of you. Swag, Jerry, you on there yet? Rick is not here anymore. Yeah, Jerry, I want to see all of you on the payout train. Yeah, Thursday like, I don't know. I always get the full daily range on a Thursday, and we will discuss those eventually. All right, cheers, guys. Have a good night. Bye.